And with the music, it was really organic. I'm not a trained guitarist.
Amazing.
Great job.
I'm pretty much self-taught, just reading tablature off the internet, and I'm a chord banger, and everything I've done has always been like classic rock stuff. I've never done blues before, and so when I got the script and I was taking a look at it, I kind of freaked out, and I got on Facebook. I'm like, any guitarist friends I have, I need help. Please call me. Da da da. And then one of my buddies ended up getting back to me. He's actually a guitar teacher, and so the first thing he did, he tuned my guitar to an open G, and he showed me how you're supposed to hold the slide, and he taught me a couple of scales. And so then coming into rehearsal, a lot of it was, first night I didn't know that he was the playwright. I'm like, I have absolutely no idea what I'm doing, man. We'll see how this happens. And I'm just like, now we'd like to introduce the playwright. I'm like, oh God. And so pretty much a lot of it ended up happening during rehearsal as I was practicing the different scales. I also get an energy off of what's going on in the actual scene, and it's a matter of this worked, that didn't work. That worked, that didn't work. And what I ended up finding throughout it all, there's actually a movement in the music. I bookended kind of the music at the end of the play is very similar to the music at the beginning of the play. When John Henry is hammering through. So you have those two bookends there. And I think the song that, at one point in time, I don't know how it happened in my head, the song that Robert is constructing, he's constructing it throughout the entire play. So the do-do-do-do-do-do, and that actually happened during one rehearsal. I had no idea how to sing that song. I heard like 8 different versions of that tune, and at one point in time, no matter what I did, it always sounded like the Johnny Cash, John Henry song. And I didn't want to do the Johnny Cash, John Henry thing. And so we sat here and we got to it, and I'm just like, oh, that worked. And then it happened about 2 weeks ago, and we worked on that rhythm. The very next night I came back like, okay, I got to remember what I did last night, and and then I just walked off and I worked on it. And it really just happened organically. And then with there's just like do boom boom. That's really just working off the scale that's in there. One of the nice things I found out about Open G is that 3s and 5s and 7s are very kind to it, so I can move up and down the neck as long as I can get my fingers there and back. I can always come back to dun dun, and it'll sound like something.
And also, if you mess up, you can just hit the strings and like
exactly.
It's great.
And so, but it ended up started coming into its own, and then at one point in time when he's doing his story of John Henry. That happened because I was doing something and I hit my fingers landed in the wrong place. It's like, huh, that kind of sounds like something.
3/4 of blues made exactly that same.
And then I just started finger picking it. And it was like this really nice discordant thing, which I thought ended up helped separate what he was talking about in his version of the John Henry story from everything else. However, it all being based on the same scale progression, it all ended up fitting together. So, in that sense, magic.
Yeah, what's funny is, because I wrote it, and as I was writing it, I was saying to myself, I'm not ordinarily a big fan of musical theater. I don't know music very well. I'm actually very close to tone deaf. I play the guitar a little, but not very well because tone deaf. And I was writing it, and I said, there's no way that there can't be music in here. And so all these places, and I'm going to put music in here, and I put music in here. And I'm sitting there thinking to myself, well, I don't know that these songs are going to work at all. I know what they sound like, but I don't know if they're going to go together. I don't know if this is going to work at all. That's their problem. One of many problems. I just left it to those guys. I was actually so happy because I came in here thinking to myself, if there's anything that's not going to work, it's going to be that the music is going to seem like it's just patched in and just dropped in places. That was my fear coming into it, and you guys, it was amazing how perfectly it fit with everything. I was astonished.
For the record, at the audition, John said to me, oh, because I brought in a guitar, and I didn't have to play it at the audition. John's like, oh, don't worry, you just have to noodle around. not a big deal. The music's not a big deal at all. Don't worry about it. I'm like, oh, okay. You lied to me.
I did not. I knew I was
It was for your own good.
I didn't want you to get scared too early.
Not until it was
I
too
saw a
late.
question up top.
Yeah, let me see.